So in these early portions, the story is divided between two separate locations with two separate people. Since each individual vignette is not especially long, I think I'm going to go ahead and tell you these two together. We start off with Suicide Girl, whose name we finally get. It's Polka. Yep, as in the style of music. I suppose it must be illustrative of this girl's personality. Perhaps she likes taking half steps all the time. Or maybe she just really digs the accordion. On her way home, Polka is accosted by walking melons. I gotta admit, the enemy design is kinda cute. I like the way these guys just sort of derp around the field, even in the middle of active combat. After a little bit of walking around and smacking things with an umbrella, Polka reveals she's in a bit of a bad mood after her trip to the harbor.
Oh, I'm so tired. There's so many people living in Retardando. Why won't any of them buy from me? And now... I see. I guess you don't want to be touched by me either.
We see her trying to sell something called floral powder, which is apparently some kind of medicine. She doesn't get much luck, however, since apparently people here are fine with their cheaper synthetic medicine, mineral powder.
Floral powder? I didn't know people still made that. What with the mineral powder we can get these days? Why would anyone need that stuff? Now, I don't mean to be rude, honey, but floral powder just isn't useful anymore.
I guess no one around here wants to buy it.
And then some guy gets beat up off screen.
Ow! Hey, what was that for?
What's your problem?
But I didn't do anything.
Who do you think you're talking to?
I didn't...
We don't see who did it. Apparently we don't care about assault happening in the streets.
Are you all right? Well, did that help? Does it feel any better?
Stay away from me! Don't touch me!
Wow! Did you see that, Mom? She was glowing!
Come back here right now! Never go near anyone that glows like that girl did. Do you understand me?
But why?
Because I said so, that's why. Now come on.
Okay, so apparently magic is bad in this universe. I guess she wasn't really thinking of the consequences of just busting that out in public. She heads back home and we get more gratuitous glamour shots of Tenuto. She goes to her house and we have a conversation with her mother that explains a few more things.
I'm home.
Welcome back, Polka. Oh, you must be exhausted. I've made some nice hot stew.
Mom, are you afraid to touch me?
You used your magic in Retardando, didn't you?
Why does everyone avoid me?
Because they think they'll get sick if they touch you, even though it's not true. I'm living proof that it isn't true. After all, I live with you and I'm fine.
I'm not afraid of dying from the illness, Mom. It's just, well, I'm just sad that no matter what I do, I can't make any friends.
Polka.
Okay, so now we've got all the pieces together, maybe. Polka's sick with what's apparently a terminal illness. This illness doesn't make her feel sick. At least it doesn't hinder her ability to fend off monsters, even with improper weaponry. It just gives her the power to use magic. When I played this game through the first time, I thought the illness was just metaphorical due to the lack of obvious symptoms, and that it just meant the victim was doomed or something. I'm going to put a pin in that theory and see if it holds water later on down the line. I'm not sure if it will. Well, enough of all that. Let's go steal some bread.
Beat, run!
Hold on, Riddle! Wait for me!
Hey, you! Where are you going with my bread? It's those brats again. Maybe I should poison the dough next time.
So these two are Allegretto and Beat. I was going to make some kind of snarky Aladdin comment, but really, I just want to say that Beat is a weird name. Like, I get it, he's named after a part of music and all, but he's literally named after a part of music. And a really simple and basic one at that, while everyone else has more complex, music-related names. It's like if you had a game where everyone was named after cakes or pastries, and then you had one guy who was just named Eggs. Anyway, now we're in Retardando. It's a strangely elaborate city considering how little time we spend in it. There's a giant cathedral, so there's literally no function. It's got one light off on one of its pews. You can look at it, and they even call it out, but you can't do anything with it. Whoa! I can't believe the sun's so high already. One of my favorite rooms has to be the pharmacy. It's got a pool of water in the center, shaped like a violin for literally no reason. Doesn't that get in the way? Do old people fall in it when they're coming to get their medicine? Mineral powder growth tonic. Take this and you'll sprout up like a weed. Hey, this sounds like something Bee could use. Note, nose grows 10 meters. Haha, yeah, definitely need to get Bee to try this. So our heroes have stolen some bread, and now they're going to deliver it to people who need them. Kind of like Robin Hood, but not really.
Yeah, okay. But I don't like the rats down there.
Come on, what do you expect? I mean, they live in the sewers. There's bound to be a rat or two. And plus, we're carrying fresh-baked bread. You don't have to be a rat to want a bite of this.
Well, what do we do if we get attacked?
Don't let a few rats get you all freaked out. Hey, I took care of them the last time, didn't I?
Yeah, I guess.
Besides, the people lucky enough to live in houses aren't the ones who need us to take bread to them.
Now naturally, there's going to be some kind of reasonable problem with that, like the fact that all the poor people live in a sewer infested with oversized glowing rats. Well, they call them rats, but when you hit them they make noises like guinea pigs. Again, the enemies are kinda cute. At one point we run into a locked gate. Switch to open it is less than 5 feet away. We call this a puzzle, kids. As we get into the end, we encounter a boss rat, and he's not so cute.
Be careful, Beat. They're after the bread.
We've got people waiting for this, and we don't have enough to give any of it to you!
Of all the reasons to get into a boss fight, being assaulted by rodents over bread is kind of a weak one, but it's the first one of the game, so whatever. I suppose now would be a good time to talk about the combat, but I don't want to.
That was pretty good! Thank you so much!
So after the fight, Redo and Beat give some little orphan girl the bread, and then they start talking economics and politics.
Hey, Redo, why is bread so expensive anyway? If it was a little cheaper, we wouldn't have to steal it for people. Do you think the baker lady is just being greedy?
Well, you know, Beat, it's not actually the baker lady's fault.
Huh? What do you mean?
The reason the bread is so expensive is the high taxes on it. It's not just bread either. In Retardondo, just about everything you need for everyday life has high taxes on it. That's why there's a lot of kids out there who can't get a decent meal to eat these days.
And that's why they need us to help them, right?
Yeah, the only thing that's not taxed is mineral powder.
Oh, I see. So that's why anybody can get it, because it's so cheap.
Redo kind of strikes me as being especially socially conscious, even though he's flat out admitting he's not so much stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, so much as he's stealing from the poor and giving to the slightly more poor. We stop back at Polka's place for like a minute, so her mother can talk to herself about the situation at home.
Oh, what am I going to do with you? I guess what happened is still bothering her. Poor thing. I should just stop her from going to Retardondo. Whenever she goes there, she ends up getting hurt. Polka, help me pick some flowers later, okay?
And then it's right back to the boys. They start talking about random things.
Hey, Redo, did you notice that magician girl from yesterday wasn't around today?
Yeah, you're right.
I guess I should have taken a picture of her.
Are you still messing around with that stuff? You need to look at things with your own two eyes. You'd see things a whole lot clearer if you weren't always looking at them through bent glass.
That's not what photography's about at all, Redo. And another thing, it isn't called bent glass, it's called a lens.
I believe this is meant to be characterization. Beat is a hobbyist photographer, and Redo doesn't cotton well to newfangled thingamajigs.
Still, you have to feel sorry.
The conversation goes back to Polka eventually.
What? She won't? What are you talking about?
Don't you know anything? That girl was able to use magic, and that means she must be sick with some kind of incurable illness.
And it's always fatal?
That's right, yeah. Only people who are gonna die soon are able to use magic like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I guess being able to use magic isn't that great after all.
No, it's not. You can't use magic powers unless you're really sick. This world's pretty messed up.
We've already established all of this.
I get it. That's why no one in town wanted to get near her yesterday. They didn't want to catch her illness, too.
Yeah, that's right. But the disease isn't actually contagious. That's just a rumor somebody started.
We established all of this, too.
A rumor?
Yeah, it's weird. Most of the time, people don't really trust each other. But when it comes to something that they think might hurt them, they'll believe just about anything they hear. And they'll ignore almost anything else that doesn't help them directly.
I guess.
As long as they have food on their table, They don't care if other people out there are starving.
I got another theory. I think Redo is a revolutionary. You know, one of those old-timey ones who carried around cartoon bombs all the time in contemporary media? Except he's not nearly so violent, at least not to anything that isn't a guinea pig.
Okay, Beat. We leave first thing in the morning.
What?
And then we get the opening credits, about an hour in. Over a series of admittedly rather pretty establishing shots, with some equally lovely score going on. The problem is, it's all, you know, kinda gratuitous and pointless. Like, normally these things are used to show us where we're gonna be for the next little while, but instead it's all shots of where we already been. We're not being shown any real new information other than a single goof about Beat being indecisive over toys. I mean, you saw in the last episode, we already had a bunch of establishing shots of stuff.
I'm too excited about tomorrow to fall asleep. And besides, it's way too early to go to bed anyway. Oh well, I guess I'll go out and look at the stars or something. I don't see many stars out in the sky tonight. I guess all the bright lights from the city make it hard to see them.
Beat, you've lived here your entire life. How did you not know about the star situation at night?
Polka, there you are. I was wondering where you went when I didn't see you in your room. Retardanda certainly is beautiful at night.
Do you think so? Somehow, when I think back on it, I get the feeling it was much more beautiful when I was a little girl.
Yes, well, things always seem nicer in our memories. It's still just as beautiful. You'll have bad dreams if you stay up too late. Come on, let's get some sleep.
Is Retardando really the same as it's always been? Really?